Welcome to the AFoOL podcast. This is episode 41. And the other day, my boss asked me who was stupid, me or him. I told him he doesn't hire stupid people.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode number 41 of the AFoOL podcast. We're here again in our own basements. Well, I'm not in the basement. I don't have a basement in Louisiana because it's too wet for basements. So I'm Earl, Mardigrasman23. We are on Joey's channel. That's BrickTrains right there. And you all know Jabo. He needs no introduction. The man, the myth, the legend. Number 37 in your program, but number one in our hearts.
Yeah.
Joseph Olson, ladies and gentlemen. Joseph Olson.
That's my birth name.
So how's everybody been?
Pretty good.
Good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's been busy. Today was the first time, the day that we're filming this was the first time I had been in a Walmart to look for Lego in a little while, probably a week or 2 weeks maybe, which is a long time. Because back in the day, I used to go to Walmart every single day. But Earl posted that massive haul.
Well,
I
was just telling Joey that Emery let me know that don't trust the app, because a lot of the stuff he found was like me, but his app scanned the price of the yellow tag, but at the register it scanned the prices that I was getting it for.
Yeah. So what I did is I took an item I was comfortable paying the price because I didn't feel like leaving something at the register or telling them I didn't want it, and so I took it up there, and it rang up with the yellow sticker price.
Yeah.
So I'll try again, like you said, in a couple of days.
Yeah.
If I'm back in that area, see if.
Well, you have a few that you could check there, don't you?
I used to go to so many of them. It's funny. When I was in the Walmart, I was like, every Walmart is a little bit different. Like where things are, they're not. It's one thing, they're not consistent. But I had gone in so many different Walmarts. I knew were ones that had clearance aisles, ones that didn't, where they put the clearance, if they had it in toys. So it's like I knew. I still remembered my way around this one that I was in today. And they had a good amount of things in the clearance section, but it wasn't. I mean, a $20 video set for $6, I still couldn't buy it.
Yeah, I did pass on some of those too. There were some cubes there was 4 different ones, and they were 4 different prices, and one of them was as low as $4, and I was just like, I just can't do it. I can't.
Well, and they don't really have a real good product value either.
No,
the cubes don't.
No. Yeah. So. Well, should we talk about our vault item? Because
yes,
it's got a lot of potential for other things to lead into other things.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So whose vault is it?
It's not my fault.
No.
I guess I picked it because of Joey's video, though.
Oh, maybe it is my fault.
So it's one that much like you did, I got one, but it wasn't fully complete. Missing a few items. I didn't buy a whole nother one to finish it, but
what? So do you have it to show, or do I need to
no?
pull a picture?
I was trying to bring it up, and I need
horrible.
something to put it on to bring it up here.
Yes, because I put mine in the little glass case that nobody can see ever on any video, and putting it away, it was like, oh wow, this is like terrible to pick up because it's 4 base plates, 5 base plates.
Yeah, I had never realized that thing opened twice until I watched your video. I mean, I don't have it, and that's what you always see is that picture right there.
Right.
But I didn't realize it opened twice.
Yeah.
So a couple of things one of the things for sure that I was thinking of is that the extra parts,
right? Yes.
For the set, and you mentioned the 1x2 red plate.
Okay. Yeah.
So
the extra red by 2, 1 by yes.
Yeah. So it's such a minor part.
Right.
But when you did that, I was like, oh no, did I build mine right? Because when you look at those instructions,
Right.
it's hard to see sometimes.
Yeah.
So I was looking at that bridge, the drawbridge. So I see where the 1x2 goes. But if you look at the alternate build, is it on the instructions or is it on the box?
Which?
So I don't have the box. Okay. The lower one, the right tower. I'm assuming that there's two 1x2 red plates. There's one right there at the top. I'm like, is there one on the other side? Yeah, on the right side, top that tower.
That
right
one.
there.
Yeah.
There's one 1x2 red plate there. And I'm like, is the other one on the other side?
Good question. But if you look right here, the bridge has been taken apart. So are you thinking this is a third one?
Maybe it is.
I don't know. This is a Oh yeah, and there's the pieces for the other part of the bridge. And this is the picture that I had several people, including you, tell me there's where the blue part goes.
Oh yes, that was the other part. Yeah, I knew there was another thing I was trying to. That was a 1x1 brick.
Yes.
Very strange.
Why is it there, not in the set?
Yeah, it's very, very strange that there was extra parts for an alternate build. Usually the alternate builds don't use all the parts.
And usually if they do have extra parts for an alternate build, they give you instructions for that alternate build.
So are those pieces on the brick set inventory? The extra parts are right.
Well, the blue piece is not on brick set, but it's on Bricklink.
And there's people have made notes that their sets did include it.
Yeah.
So I had a question for you, and I didn't go back and rewatch your video. Did you put stickers on the back of your knights? Or do they have stickers on the back?
They have stickers on the back, yes.
Okay. That's one thing I think people don't do on some of theirs.
Right.
They only put the sticker on the front.
Okay. Yeah, so then you end up with a lot of extra stickers.
Yes, that's how I ended up finishing mine. I had an extra sticker sheet there where people only use part of the stickers.
Right. Well, and I have never had the sticker sheet in my hand. I've seen pictures, so I never paid attention to it. But there's a lot of extra extra shield stickers. So as I'm now looking on the pictures, there's potentially 2 or 3 shields or sticker over assemblies on the sides as well.
Yeah, that's what I've never figured out. That they show like in the inventory and I was looking at that on my set, the one that goes over 2 bricks in 2 different places.
Right.
I think I have both of those.
Yeah, I have. Yes.
And then, like you pointed out, my sticker, which I may need to, I might try to reapply it. That's on the 1x8 brick.
Right.
Everybody centers it, but it shouldn't be centered.
Right.
Because it's not centered over the drawbridge.
Well, and then there's enough of them on the one. Let's see. Yeah, the 1x6 that Bricklink has this as a piece.
It is on the set, isn't it?
Well, the one that's in the set is the one that you're talking about, where it's
1x8.
Yeah, off to the one side, and this is a 1x6 centered.
But I had it on one of my towers. I should go get mine.
That's what I'm wondering, is if you in the alternate builds, if this would work, but in the main build it needs to be that one that's off centered over the top of the drawbridge.
Yeah.
And you can clearly see that in the picture, the main picture, that it is not, that it has to be to the one side. But at the same time, right, Lego gave us a bunch of stickers and partial instructions, and you do your Lego how you do your Lego, right?
Yeah, that's right. There's no wrong way to do.
But there's enough of these that Bricklink made a part number for this.
But
and the other one.
It's not on the instructions that the second wavy flag sticker on a brick?
No, not that I found.
If you look at an unused sticker sheet, is there 2 of those stickers on?
There is.
Yeah.
There is. And see, now I'm seeing the other shield stickers on the side, which look like they would be on 1
On the
by
castle,
4.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if there's one on this side that you could see,
There's
there's
probably one on
probably one on the far side that you can't see.
right.
So that would be 3 sticker over assemblies with that shield.
Right. And I think 2 of them would be over 2 1 by 4s, and then
Yes.
one of them be over 1 by 6.
Right. That's right. That's right.
So yeah, so I don't have all the parts. Or I need a $150 sticker sheet.
Yeah.
Which ain't gonna happen.
Nobody's. Yeah, it's hard. That's the sticker sheet you're not going to find for sale anymore. Pretty much. And
right, not complete.
You can sometimes find people there are people selling these right now, the 1x4 and the 1x6 bricks with the shield on them.
With the shields. And
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to
It's about $25.
It's outrageous, but it's probably doable to make it. I mean, now that I know, I'm like, my COD is going to kick in, and I'm going to have to do this.
I wish you had done this sooner, or I wish I had held on to it. But I used the little piece that goes on top of the knight's helmet that breaks real easy.
The visors.
I had a few extras of those, but those eventually sold. And I think I sold mine for like $12 or $14. I'm sure they're much more than that now.
No, I think they're still around.
Is that about what they are?
That the only set they were in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
No, they were also in the joust set.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
It's the only era.
The only era.
Yeah.
What was it? 3 or 4 sets. So that's another. By the way, we are talking about the classic Yellow Castle.
Oh wait, we forgot to say what we were talking about. We all knew what we were talking about.
Yeah, set 375, or in the United States 6075.
Yeah.
And as my video, I was never a castle collector, so there's a couple years difference between when the U.S. version came out and the European. And there's sets that are. Am I getting this right? There are sets that are older, would have came out earlier in Europe, and they had printing, but yet the Yellow Castle come out and it had all stickers. I guess it's because they had those little bodies, whatever thing, tunics or something they were wearing. So it seemed kind of odd that they had so many stickers for the minifigs, and then they had minifigs that already had the shield printed on the torso itself.
Mm-hmm.
And in different time frames. This has been a whole thing for me, getting into this Yellow Castle thing.
All right. So this is another reason I wanted to bring this up. Everybody calls it the Yellow Castle.
Right.
But what's
really
it called?
Castle.
But everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, if you just say
Yellow.
castle, like which castle? It's the Yellow Castle. Okay.
So also, it seems like, just from a collector's standpoint, it seems like the castle stuff is way more pricey than, like, let's say, Classic Space. There are things that are very expensive in Classic Space, but it seems like maybe there's a bigger supply, because you're talking about 2 or 3 sets of Classic Castle stuff, and all these figures are $25 or more. So
yeah, so you're saying Castle's more expensive?
Yes, yeah. It seems like.
Well, if you think you just said it, there's only a couple sets that have these figures in it, but all the Classic Space is red or white spacemen until they introduced the blue and the black one and the yellow one,
And before you could get the red or white spaceman for just a couple of bucks for a few until recent years.
Until someone made it their sig fig. Had you known to corner the market like you're going to Tippers before you
Actually, I did buy a couple of hundred of the red spaceman. I did.
Yeah. Wow.
I've probably given away 100 of my sig fig over the early parts of my days of my channel.
So okay, so now I went ahead and I pad printed or had some custom printed, and I always thought, man, that seems, because I'm not just give them away. I usually want to trade with somebody, but I do give them away fairly. But now I'm trying to think which was more expensive, to have a custom printed. What is the torso for a red spaceman now?
Yeah, it might be cheaper to find the original.
It might.
I don't know. I imagine it's a few dollars, isn't it, to get something custom printed?
Yeah, it depends on how many. Let's see, I had 100, so yeah, I think it got around $5 a person. At that.
Oh wow!
It depends on how many you're doing. So there was a break that I got because I had 2 sets of red and blue, and I don't have the thing in front of me, but it was hundreds of dollars, but to get them done, you had to spend so much just to get them done. And that was one guy. I know there's several people, and I think that process will always get cheaper too as more people get that equipment. That equipment's getting so.
So, do you remember? You would have been really young when this castle came out. Mardigrasman would have been really young.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being in stores for whatever reason.
I don't know. Would this have ever been in like a Kmart or an Airway? Anybody remember Airway?
I don't remember Airway. I had Kmart.
Okay.
Toys R Us was not around my area at the time. It'd been Lionel Play World.
We had KB Toys, I think. Yeah. KB Toys when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
But see, when I was really young, it was the Keisters, which was a hardware store, or Woolsey's Toy and Bicycles, or Kmart, Airway, and then there was another Hill.
We had a Milton Bradley.
We had a local toy store that coincidentally was called Toys by Roy. No relation. And it was bought out by KB Toys.
KB Toys, yeah. So no, I don't remember it.
Yeah. I don't remember it either. I didn't even. It wasn't until I started collecting the Gray Castle era in '84 and didn't ever see it in any of my catalogs. I didn't have ways of getting. I didn't have the internet.
Right. No.
I didn't have a way of knowing that it existed if I missed it.
Right.
And it wasn't in any catalog that I had. And then when I got the internet, that's when I discovered it. And I remember that the guy that got me into trains, Ben, he had won it when he was a kid. And he was some contest they had in Germany, and he actually won the Yellow Castle. And that was kind of my first exposure to knowing more about it. Was his post he had on his website. And then, of course, as the internet starts blossoming, then you start realizing all these other things that you missed.
Right.
But this is definitely one. It's one. I guess I'm kind of glad I didn't see it because we probably wouldn't have been able to afford it when it came out.
So you're talking about all the ways we didn't have the internet and your catalogs and stuff, but so the only catalogs that I would have had as a kid was the things that would have came in the sets that I got. So
that's what I had. Yes.
Okay. So a lot of those were, I don't remember having some of the bigger catalogs that folded out and there were like several pages. They were usually just the strips. And then every once in a while there'd be like, I think like a 4 folded, it was like a 1 single sheet of paper. So it'll be interesting to go back and look at those catalogs and see if it was on there or if it was just, which I don't think it was, but if it was something that we just didn't have interest in, or did it truly just not?
I wish, I don't guess it'd be worth doing at this point, but there's not really a list on Bricklink of what catalog came in a set, is there?
Yeah. Okay. Well, hang on. I think what you're wanting is
like the medium-sized catalogs.
So okay,
that ran through most of all the 80s.
Wouldn't it be cool if they put those in sets today?
Yeah. I mean, it's like this is what the internet's done. It's taken away something that I fondly remember as a kid and as an adult looking through the catalogs to see what other sets were out there.
It was always cool when they would be like 4 city sets, and I got these 2.
Yeah,
but I've never seen these 2 before.
See, I'm trying to find something that would have been
because
they have a way of doing that. I think.
So I've never looked on Bricklink. They
Well,
have almost a complete list of all the catalogs.
Yeah, they got most all the catalogs, and I'm trying to think of like the castle sets that came out in the 80s and into the 90s. Let's say like the King's Castle. It's set 6080. If I look at the inventory for that, it's got the instructions entry, which is separate, but there's no listing of a catalog that would have been in there.
Right.
Oh, I
And-
see what you're saying. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, and there would have likely been, depending on when you got it,
Yeah.
and however many years this was in, you would have had a different catalog if it was
Right.
produced later. Because these sets would normally stay in stores for a few years, maybe 3.
So 6080, this is the tangent that I got off on. If you look on BrickSet for 6080, it has a heading for catalogs, and it lists the catalogs that set appeared in. I was going the other direction.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So if the tipper truck was in a catalog in 1975, 76, 77, you could see which catalogs had it.
Right. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that catalog was in the box.
Right.
No. Right. Yeah, that would be very cool to yes.
Yeah.
Now we'll have to go and open up a bunch of sealed sets, see what catalogs are in them.
So you're organizing all your instructions. Are you organizing your catalogs?
Ooh.
No, that's impossible. So as close as I came to organizing my catalog is the medium. I call them they're the ones that
kind of like a 45 size square.
Yeah, they're half.
Yeah.
They're not square; they're rectangular, and they.
Okay.
Yeah, and they ran through most of the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I know they were in the 90s because I got all those clearance sets. Then, and then 89, it had the pirates on the front cover,
right,
and all that. But I threw away all my extras. They came in every set. It's like a brick separator,
right?
They came in every set, so I don't need 20 of the same catalog,
right?
I wasn't thinking 20 years later I could have sold them.
Only if you had them now. Yes, exactly. So,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I don't want to go on to another topic yet, so go ahead.
Okay. No. Well. So one of the other things that I found, my saga of the trouble I had getting cowboy hats.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And most of that was just
wrongly listed.
Yeah, and that was more of a people, and people probably just didn't know there were more than one or two molds, and they just it's a cowboy hat, right? So one of the things as a new collector of Castle, I did not realize, and this I don't know how well this is going to show up on the camera. I'll try and show it. Can you see that? Is he out of focus?
The pattern?
Yes,
it's different on different.
Yeah, so as I'm looking at this, there's a dark red on one side and the peachy color on the other side. And then there's the shield.
Yeah, and it's inverted.
It's inverted, but they sell the shield both ways.
Yeah.
And the shield is listed on Bricklink as only appearing, both shields only appear in these two sets. The castle, the yellow castle, and then this.
It's one of those variety things I think Lego did, because I didn't talk about stuff that you just now found out. It's literally, I just found out from watching Beyond the Bricks video at Atlanta Brick Company that the Black Falcon's torso has the bird facing another way on certain torsos, and it's like if you see it facing to his right, that's rare, but it exists. And then if you look at that Black Falcon's torso on Bricklink, there's like 5 different pictures for the 5 different possibilities, because then the silver and the black are in different places on some.
Right.
But these probably would have all been in the same sets.
Mm-hmm.
So now that and this is kind of where I was getting to. So this is
so you may not be incorrect no matter which one you have.
Well,
it might just depend on what year it was manufactured.
Well, that brings me to was this one of these European market?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, because
is it opposite for it was one way in European and it's opposite in
Yeah, and obviously
States?
this instructions had both numbers, so yeah. Where are these mistakes? And I'm not saying like one is a rare mistake.
That instruction has both numbers on it?
Yeah.
Yes, the US version has both
Both
numbers.
numbers. But
The European version only has 3
Is that common? Does that happen a lot?
The 375 alone is harder to find.
Like that on US versions.
In that time frame, yeah, there were the US versions have both numbers, and I don't know.
As I'm cataloging my instructions, I've come across a few that have 2 different numbers on them.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that, because it seemed to me confusing to me.
How poorly were they keeping up with their numbers that they could? Oh wait, we already used this number.
Right.
And why did they have to issue a different number if it's released in North America versus Europe? They had to have known at some point that they were doing that.
Yeah, the only thing it's either inventory control or they were trying to figure out where their money was coming from, and we know we didn't do very good at that.
Okay.
But also the other thing is the United States, North America has some weird rules that go all the way back to the 60s about piece counts and what's in the package.
Affect the name or the number of a set.
It wouldn't. It shouldn't. But maybe that was how they were differentiating, because they said, well, 675's got to have all this writing on the box, but 375 did. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't know.
Yeah.
I still want to know why they did this twice. Somebody either made a mistake or you do it intentionally. Why? Because you don't flip that around.
It's a sticker, right?
No.
Oh, it's printed.
Both of these are printed. This is another one of those. This guy's printed, but there's a sticker for a later version. So it's like Castle is a whole new intriguing thing for me.
And this
a good thing.
Be careful, it's going to get expensive.
Well,
this set would cost you.
Classic.
Yeah, the used part out value of this set is over $700. That's used.
Right. Oh, of the Yellow Castle?
Of the Yellow Castle.
Yeah. That unluckily, fortunately, I had the one set that I had almost 75% of the parts and probably most of the minifigures too. So I only had to buy a couple of visors, and you guys saw the video. I only had to buy a few things, but
it's one of those sets you could piece it mostly together and be almost done, and it looked done, and just those extra pieces to finish it, your knights and your stickered pieces is where all the value is.
I was going to say there's nothing of value until you get to the minifigs and shields and sticker over assemblies, right? I mean, there was nothing.
You can piece it. That's like somebody listing it as 98% complete or something. Just missing minifigures and stickers.
Just a
and maybe it's the swords. Oh, it doesn't have the swords either.
Oh, those are terrible too. Yeah, the price on them. So yeah. So I am now starting on this. I have everything.
You'd like to go backwards. You get the instructions, then you get the box, then you figure out how to get the parts.
Well, usually the instructions in the boxes are the most expensive pieces. And then these minifigures.
Think about all the people today throwing away boxes and instructions.
Yep.
Of course, the sets today are much more massively produced.
Yep.
And there's not much of a demand for boxes from 10 years ago, unless it's a UCS set or something.
The collective. So Heather's been building some friend stuff, and she asked me the other day, she said, am I keeping these boxes or not? And I said, that's up to you. You keep them or you don't. And I said, but keep the instructions here, put them in a pile of instructions, and she gets her stuff. And I'm not going to tell you what she did, but it'll just infuriate half the people either way I tell it. So, but it becomes a space, and I'm the thing, I have to question, is it worth a set that was produced? So 10 years from now, I will be like, dang.
So my story was I had all those castle sets that I was buying on clearance, and I had the boxes in our attic. and it gets hot in the attic, but it's like I didn't want to throw them out at the time. And one day I was like, you know what? I'm not going to need these boxes. And that's when I threw out all my original from the Black Falcon's Fortress to the river crossing one. It's like threw all those boxes away, and I kept one copy of the instructions and the catalogs. I threw away instructions, and I was like, those instructions alone would be worth more than what I paid for the sets. The boxes would be worth more than what I paid for the sets.
I don't know how many classic space sets I had, because the way when I was a kid, I had one of those the denim draw bags, except it wasn't a Lego version. My grandfather made one, and it was actually twice the size. But it was made exactly like that. But that's how my Lego was. It was in that with the instructions. So after a few years, those instructions were So they're $100. I could think these sets.
But I still think today. Back then, it's just like anything. Action figures, toys. Nobody kept anything new in the package. Nobody kept instructions, directions. Nowadays, everybody's thinking, "Oh, it's a collectible. Let me hold on to everything." So,
I've thrown away literally thousands of boxes now. When I think of all the sets that I've parted out over the last 15 years.
Yeah, and I don't even hesitate on things that I'm parting out. I'll cut those open, dump the bags, and then crush the box immediately. I don't even think about it. Now the instructions, I have all the instructions, and they're not in the store. They're just in a big box. But the box is gone. I don't even pause, because if I pause, then I'll save them, and then I'll regret that.
But the vintage stuff, you keep the box. You want the box.
Yeah. Well, yeah, now I do. Yeah.
So I got a comment on an old video.
Okay.
It's a Coast Guard set from the minifigure era. So it's got the faceless minifigures on it. And he said, the U.S. version of this set was a lot different and blah, blah. And I was like, there was no other version of this set. But there was one that had minifigures that looked like this set. And that sent me down another rabbit hole of there was a Canadian version that had Canadian flags and Samsonite box. And you can't find one for sale right now. So what is it with these Canadian sets by Samsonite that nobody has them available right now?
I don't know. What so you're saying okay.
I found a Coast Guard set that's Canadian, and nobody has it for sale.
Nobody has it for sale. So okay, so the trick
the instructions, the box, nothing.
So the trick that I use, if you can find it on eBay, I always try to search either North American or Canada.
Okay.
Because the guys in Canada don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So if they're selling a vintage set, and if they may not list it as a Samsonite set. So there's a lot of times if I'm looking for something specific, so like if you're looking for this, go on eBay and look for a Samsonite, or even on Bricklink, go and look for Canadian sellers. And then bump them if they don't specifically say or don't have a picture. Send a little message and say, "Hey, what's it say on the box?" Of course, you want to tip your hand either.
And that's what it's like. How we don't know there's different versions of pieces. You got people selling stuff that don't know there's a different version of that set. So you could have somebody selling the Canadian version. They just see the set number and they list it, and they probably say, "My stickers have the Canadian flag instead of the American flag."
Just don't know. Yeah. It's possible. Now, I would hope the Canadian flag would actually trigger something, but they just may not know.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
As many questions as I get from people that are wanting to sell stuff, it's like, if you can't figure out, I'm like, I don't mean to be mean, I'm not being mean, but it's like they can't figure out what the piece, the set goes to. In fact, Lego just
Right.
done a survey about this. Do you help your friends figure out what piece a set it goes in, what set this piece is in? And it's like I get these questions all the time. And I like playing the game, like because I can usually quickly figure out. I do have to search sometimes, but I know, like when somebody shows me a pile of parts, I know which ones are going to be the ones that are going to have a limited number of sets, and I start with those to kind of figure out where it goes. But it's like if a person can't do that themselves, they don't need to be worried about trying to piece together a set, or they just need to say, I want to sell all my green ones and all my red ones in a pile.
Right. I to that point though, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I get it, but there is a certain learning curve, and if you don't know the resources are even available, like for the longest time, I didn't know Bricklink was available.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if their only reference person that they know is some guy with a green table and blue track and gray track and everything. And you think that guy is the smartest guy in the world because he has all that track. And then you find this website that says Brickset and Bricklink. Then you're like, and then you catch
to monetize the resource.
But that's you don't have the time. You can't answer everybody's silly questions like mine. There's like, well, what color track is that? So
is that because you didn't have any blue track?
Yeah, I don't know blue track.
Where did that come
what is
from?
this blue track stuff?
And all of it's there's a time I didn't have those resources. So even though I was collecting Lego before the internet, you used what resources you could find, and you extrapolated from that what you knew. And then only later do you realize you don't know everything. And it's like the thing I sent, that video. I don't know if y'all watched it. That video I sent you.
Yes. In fact, I got it queued if you think it's legal for us to show it.
It's like an advertisement. So it's somebody else's. Is some guy uploaded it.
Right.
You're not monetized. So I don't. If they claim the video.
If they claim it, they claim it. We're doing this as a news review thing.
Yeah, Amir sent me this.
I don't know how long it is.
I can't.
Can you hear it?
No, we don't hear it.
Ah, well, that's why you guys never hear.
Well, we can talk about it because it doesn't really matter what they're saying.
Because you can't understand them anyway.
So there was this Lego show, and this was this newscaster or whatever this guy is talking about this Lego World Show, which went on for a number of years. I never heard about it until Amir sent me this email, and he's trying to piece together the space station that you'll see. But then when I played the video, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's 12-volt trains. They got stuff moving. It's like,
oh yeah, I
never saw anything like this when I was this age.
Look at all those trees, those the
cypress trees.
Cypress trees. Oh, we need to talk about that. This needs a cypress tree. I need to trade you something. So yeah, I mean, these kids, it's almost like it's a convention type atmosphere.
Yeah, and so they got the big builds like you would see at a Legoland. There's movement, there's lights, there's dinosaurs. This is 1984.
Oh,
with a limited piece of, oh look, they got gray. Gray dinosaur. A yellow dinosaur. They didn't have a lot of colors. Are those Lego? Are those strings Lego pieces?
No.
And so Amir's wanting to build when we get to it, the space scene that's in here. And so this is probably the best resource right now that he's found is basically this video and the brochures. So I did look on Bricklink for the brochures for Lego World Show. They are on there. I don't know what the pages look like. There are some from the later shows in the late 80s that people have for sale. But this year, nobody had it for sale.
Huh.
Where is the space? We haven't got to space. They found a woolly mammoth in ice.
You want to try and that's almost
No,
over.
it's just short videos.
Yeah,
There's a
3
lot
minutes.
of motors going on.
There's a lot of movement in, and I've been trying to look at that and see, because I think some of that hinges is not Lego too. Here's
here's some of the space stuff, I think. So again, 1984. Think about it.
Yeah.
Stuff's going up and down. And I'm like, where are these displays today?
Now,
Do they just destroy them?
Probably.
And this is the space station he wants to build. It's huge.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this gives you a 360 view of it. So
wow. I mean, that's got to be what, 3 feet across, maybe, that space station spinning.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, probably more. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just it's so. I guess this proves, though, that no matter how much you know, there's always somebody that can show you something you don't know.
Mm-hmm. And that kind of leads into the question that Joey deleted that he found. I think I got this from one of your videos because you had got something, but just recently you got that Lego store display.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't even know things that you're looking for until you see it, and then you're like, "Oh man,
now I need it."
Yeah.
Where can I find that, or how did they get that, and where can I get one?
Yeah.
How many of those things do you think there are?
The Lego stores?
No, just
how many of those things? It's like
you just don't even realize. You don't even realize about it because it's not listed, or you've never noticed it, and then all of a sudden it's like.
Well, you know, like this Lego World Show stuff. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of neat things there. I know I can't go out and get those, but there are things that are displayed, whether at a Legoland, a store, or any other kind of special event things that people get their hands on. That if you go to the that plastic brick museum, I think they changed the name. The thing's in Ohio he's got a ton of these Lego displays.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'd have to look for the name.
It used to be called Toy and Plastic Brick Museum, but I think he changed the name of it.
Yeah.
And so these things exist. And so I would see something like that, but it's not like I got to get it. Like he had the Thomas the Tank Engine. That's massive. That's built out
brick
of
built Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to have that, but it would take up this whole room basically.
Right. Yeah.
But then on a smaller scale, the things that we see, or a set, or a limited production thing, or a catalog, things come up. I mean, M&R did the thing with he got the Toy Fair Yoda brick built Yoda. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that existed.
No, and there, there's going to be tons of that stuff out there. Especially these door play. I think the 113 store display that I got.
Yeah.
So that no idea that existed.
Yeah, no idea what the value is.
No, I know what I paid. So
you know that you may never see it again for sale.
No, and I may never get my money back out of it. And I realize that because it may not interest anybody else that hits that Samsonite store display vintage train and checks all those boxes like it did for me.
Yeah.
And
then Robin has sent us down rabbit holes that we didn't know existed, and then we're getting posters and old magazines that have nothing to do with Lego other than advertisements.
Yeah. Well, and remember the little salesman samples that we got? No idea that existed. I still want. Well, now I know it exists, but I want it. But the little Scotty dog. Apparently, there was a Scotty dog in the same type of just a clear bag with a piece of cardboard stapled to it.
Wow. And
it was, and it's just that little bitty Scotty dog that Samsonite like to use. So So did you see Sand's video today?
No, I got I had to watch Boba Fett.
Oh, I'm
And
caught up on that now.
so
Finally.
I'm a few episodes
I came home from
behind.
work. I filmed my video. I watched Boba Fett, and then we did this. So I haven't had time to watch. I did get the notification on my phone. Sands has really upped his game with his
He has
videos.
lately,
He's been
yeah.
more consistent. And so I saw it said rare Lego, and I'm like, oh man, I got to see this.
Yeah, you
I
got
don't
to
know which
watch it.
direction he's going with it, but I got to see it.
Well, he's definitely going in a Sans direction, so it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
You'll get a kick out of it, I hope.
Yeah.
You see it, Earl?
No,
Not
no,
yet.
man.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to look it up.
yeah, I'm not playing it.
No.
you could. Maybe there probably be a link. Maybe.
So we were within our fair use rights with the other one because we did commentary of it.
Yes.
Is that how you get away with it?
Yeah.
Well, if you're something.
Or we could do like the other people that have commentary channels where they just go.
Right. Yeah.
That's all they do is just make shocked face looks at everything.
Yeah, and I've been bad. I have not done well. No excuses, but I mean work. I've been on evenings, and it's been a lot of 12-hour over and ends back and forth.
Yeah, there was no show and tell today.
There's nothing this week. If I don't do something tonight after this, there'll be nothing this week, and so I don't know. And some down to I either have to do a layout update, a city update, or I don't know. I probably shouldn't tell this on YouTube. Dakota, I've been parting out parts, and he every once in a while he'll help part out parts, and he'll just part out parts, and of course we get make sure that he puts everything right. Well, there's a video game or something that he plays on his mom's phone, and you can race cars, and you get fake money, and if you want to buy a race car, it costs real money. Okay. Well, so he's got it in his head now. There's this thing called real money.
Oh, real money.
And yeah, his mom convinced him that you could go to Papa's house and make real money sorting out parts.
Oh.
So I pull out four poly bags out of the store, and he gets $5 for the 4 poly bags that he sorts. Now, sometimes he can do it in 10 minutes, and sometimes it takes him 2 days. So
you're getting paid 12 cents an hour.
Yeah. But it's how determined he is that he needs a new race car for his game. Oh. So he did make it over. It took over a weekend, but he did save two days in a row so he could get a more expensive car. So good lessons, I think, in money management.
So, do you like keep a record of like how long it takes you to do things for your Bricklink stores?
I don't, because I would no.
Yeah, it's like when I'm pulling the other day, I had 2 orders, and they were both $20-something orders. One of them took me maybe 10 minutes. The other one took me about 45 minutes.
Yeah. I've run into that too. And so it's like I catch some of Pop's Block Shop's videos when I'm at work. Like I'll listen to them. And he does a lot with minifigures. And it's like, he may have a bunch of $30 orders, but it only takes him a few minutes to do a few orders.
Right.
Whereas if you got, so if you got pieces that are dollars versus pieces that are a few cents,
right?
Your time is better spent picking the orders with the dollar pieces instead of the 3-cent piece.
Well, I hear recently, I have always been pretty good about like clear panels or any kind of panel that has a large surface, wrapping those individuals.
Yeah.
But here lately, I've got a couple of these, like you're talking about, where I had 60 lots, and I don't remember how many, couple hundred pieces or whatever. So it's a lot of little bitty and it was only like a $30 order. And I used to, I would do the advent calendar with the Dixie cups, and I did any of that where it's like a high uh, lot count and a low piece count and low value, I'm just grabbing the cup and just going to the drawer, into a bag, seal it up. Thank you. Lego does the same thing. As long as it doesn't get too out of control.
Yeah,
because it's taking up too much time for me to just really.
My wife does it a little differently than I do. Oh, go ahead, Earl. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I usually break it up into like 3 or 4 bags.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mentally picture something. Say it's one of those it's 120 pieces and it's 80 lots. Some stores wouldn't allow you to do that, but I've had a lot of orders like that, and you're like, oh no. But I would rather it be like that than 80 lots in 1,000 pieces, because then you got to count more. It's easier to like 3 to 4 in a lot. You go in there and you grab them, you put it in. But I mentally picture that as it's like, okay, if I put 10 different parts in a bag, that's like 10 different lots in a bag. And I got 80 lots. That's 8 bags.
Right.
It doesn't seem as bad to me mentally.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's always a battle of. Well, you also got your supplies, and then the more bags you put in, the higher your weight is going to get. So, I packaged this last one up, and I got all the way to the end, and I was getting ready to print the label, and it just caught my eyes, like, oh, they wanted priority mail.
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter, but
was the ship station? It allows you to ship stuff between 13 and 16 ounces first class. Ship station does. I don't know how they do that.
But it won't allow me to select a mailer.
Ship station won't?
Yeah.
Mailer?
Yeah. You gotta, every packet, so you got to put in like the size of your envelope. It's 7 by 9 by 2 inches.
There's a drop down. You do, instead of doing custom, you do pre-selected.
You got to create one though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like my purple mailer, I just put that in, saved it as one, and then I can just select. And what I did is I selected purple mailer, 2 ounces purple mailer, 4 ounces purple mailer, 6. So then because you can't select the weight, because that's what. So I have it graduated in there, and I just grab the one, and it usually works pretty good.
How many clicks do you have to make? Because I did this in my video today that it'll post. Y'all haven't seen it yet, but by the time everybody watches this, if they watch my channel, they've seen it. I did an order. I did a Pablo for somebody, and then I was just talking about how I hate the checkout procedure the printing of the labels, because you got to click so many times. It's like you've entered all those things and you click it, and then it thinks a second. Then you purchase a label, so that's another click.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to print the label. That's another click, and then a window pops up, and then I hit the print.
Well, before you do all that,
clicks.
You have to click it on PayPal, and you have to let it think to switch over to.
3 windows are open. 4 by the time the print window comes up, and then I got to close all of those windows, because if I go to print another label, it's just going to open another window. So ShipStation has added this extra layer of work for me, I think.
Well, I haven't done it yet, but because I don't get a lot of orders. But if you were to get if you had 4 orders to go out, when you do on ShipStation, instead of printing, after you do one label, instead of printing,
batch print them.
Yeah, couldn't you go to your next one, and then when you printed it, you would just
print all of them at once?
Yeah,
that would probably make more sense. But and I guess if we were doing more orders per day, that would make a lot more sense. But we're also both my wife and I were very worried about putting the wrong label.
Yeah, me too.
That's why I always print the label, put it on the package while I'm thinking of it.
Even if I only have, and I usually the most I have is 2. I'll write the name on one.
Yes,
the other one I'll just stick it, but one of them I'll write the name on to make sure
I write last name.
And I put where it's going
and how much it weighs. My wife, she writes the order number, the full name, the city and town, and how much it weighs.
I usually put their name and city and town and the weight. but I only do that on one of them because the other one, I print the label and stick it on there.
Yeah, I don't know if you've had this happen yet, but I have had people with similar names purchase orders the same day. That's very unusual, but it's happened, and you could really mess
Yeah,
up.
No, I did have a first though. I those two orders, I pulled one, and the guy had two of this part, and I looked in the drawer, and I still was going to have like 15 or 16. I was like, "Ooh, what is that for?" And then I remembered what you told me is that because that other order probably had those 15 parts in it.
Yeah.
And it did.
Yeah. I had an order the other. I still get a lot of orders from people who have like one or two as their rating, so they're brand new. But I had an order the other day, and it looked like they were building some Hogwarts set. Well, actually, I probably know the set because they ordered 2 stickers from that set. I had parted out 4 or 5 of them, so they had the sticker. But they selected 2 of the same sticker, and I thought, oh no, they didn't realize that there's another sticker. I sent them the 2 they ordered, and I'm just waiting for the message coming. You sent me the wrong sticker. So I sent you the ones you ordered. You just didn't order the other one. So we'll see.
I've only had once where somebody wanted me to give them a refund because they ordered the wrong color of something, and I'm like, I was like, I didn't send you the wrong color. I sent you the color that you ordered.
Right.
You ordered the wrong color, and it was like, I think they said it was one of these people that buys bulk and then they resell stuff. And I ended up, they sent it back. They paid for the shipping to send it back. And it was just like, I was just like, this is, you made the mistake, not me.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And the only good thing out of that, I ended up selling all that stuff for more.
When you put it back in the store, it was worth more.
Put it back at a higher price.
There you go.
Made more.
So when you're checking the price guide and it says the part out value gives you two like when you put in a set and you're looking for the part out value and the price, their little price guide deal, it gives you 2 things. It says current sales average, and then it says 6 months or current. What's the difference in those 2 prices?
Current is what people have it listed for. 6 months sales average is what it actually sold for. So it's kind of like an Amazon listing. Current. It could be anything. It doesn't mean it'll sell.
Right.
But it's the average of what everybody has it listed at. So sometimes it's what people will pay. Sometimes people will pay more than current, but it can be inflated.
Yeah. That's what you're talking about, right? The average 6 months within the current.
Yeah. I mean, some of them are really close within a couple bucks. When some of them are like that, what is that, $70 difference?
So there's plenty of them for sale, but they're only selling for about 150.
And this number can't, when you get a set like this that has parts that aren't listed, it's sometimes not a good judge of what that's worth, because those are probably very rare parts.
Right.
And they could be counterparts. I don't know. I guess the current and last 6 months, they just take the standard and they don't include the extra items, I think.
Well, this is for the set. Oh, no. This is the part of it. I'm sorry. I put up part of it. Yeah. So it probably is counting the counterparts and the alternates too, because that would be in the list.
BrickTsar or BrickTsar or whatever it's called now, because I can pull up and see what it actually has sold for after I've eliminated all the parts that I don't really have, like the stickered parts, or because when you download that thing, it gives you all the stickered parts, all the various molds, wheels that are put with the tires, that type of thing, and you got to go through and eliminate the ones that you aren't using.
Right.
And then you get a true part out value. And every now and then you get a part out value that's inflated because people are listing things at a high rate. It could be a part that used to be rare, but now it's in a lot of sets.
Yeah, that yeah. Well, I'm doing my best to inflate minifig prices because any minifig that value is less than $5 automatically goes into my store for $5. I know it's not selling, but
Yeah,
I think
that's
you know
what
what.
I've kind of done with instructions and stickers.
Oh, just put them in at a high value, or yeah,
and wait till the price to come up.
Well, it's got to be worth my time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if I'm gonna deal with a minifig, it's gonna have to be. That's just the value I've set, $5, and nothing goes in there. Now, in the last few things that I've parted out, I actually did part out the minifigs as pieces. So because they were like $1 minifig, it's like,
yeah.
You know, so I just started parting them out.
I've done that, and then I've wondered, okay, I parted this fig out because it makes more sense, but is anybody ever going to buy this torso?
It's usually the torso, right?
Hey,
yeah.
So the video I filmed today, somebody bought a torso that had been in my store so long that it was still in the original. It was from when I still had things in individual bags.
Oh,
I didn't use the drawer system. I used the containers filled with bags of parts, and I wrote the number of the part on the bag.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
One of them sold today.
Wow.
So, since we're still talking about Bricklink, what are your origins with Bricklink? I mean, I started with Ziploc bags and 2 shoe boxes, and then I graduated to 4 stack-ons, and then once you go to stack-ons, there's like no looking back.
Yeah.
And I know Joey, he just went all in with. I think before he parted out the first set, he probably had 30 stack-ons. But you were all over the place.
Yeah,
you've got.
So I was a set seller for years on eBay. I didn't usually sell parts, and I'd have to go back. I don't remember what year it was, but the Final Duel 2 set, which is the one that's got Luke Skywalker, a Stormtrooper, and Imperial Guard. I bought about 200 of those at KB Toys when KB Toys was clearing them out, and they were 88 cents each. The Stormtroopers were selling for $2. I was like, $2 for a minifigure? Oh my goodness, I have got to sell all of these. And so instead of selling the set, I opened them up and I would list the Stormtroopers 20 for like $60. And I was getting $3 a minifigure.
Wow.
So I sold all of those Stormtroopers. And then I was left with all of the Lukes. The Lukes would not sell. Nobody wanted 5 Lukes. The Imperial Guard would not sell. I did eventually sell some of them on eBay, but I was like, this is just too tedious listing these over and over again. And back then, you had to pay each time you listed something. So then I put what parts I had left over from that set, which weren't a lot of useful parts. There's like a fence piece, some dark gray plates and stuff. And finally, most of all those pieces sold recently, like all the old dark gray that was in that set. Somebody bought all those, but yeah, that was the first thing I parted out and I ended up putting those in Bricklink and then putting a few sets for sale. But you're not going to get a lot of sales when you only got a handful of parts.
Right. See, I had my store a long time before it ever even opened, before I was even serious about it. So I had a lot of shoe boxes full of old cellulose acetate reds and blues or reds and whites and stuff like that. So it wasn't organized well, but I set my store up just so that I would be set up because I think it's fairly hard to open a Bricklink store now, isn't it? As far as
they've put a barrier to entry now, which is good in a way because it keeps bad apples from getting stores.
Yeah. So I don't have. Earl's right. I pretty much went straight into stack-ons. Oh, I had all of this prior knowledge that I was watching on YouTube, and it was like, don't do this, do this. Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do that.
So it's like with everything, with between collecting Lego, my buying habits with Lego, I didn't know what other people did. So as far as I knew, I was the only person in the world, even though I knew there were. And I
Right.
didn't. The way to learn back then, you would get on the forum for
Right.
Bricklink. That's where people would go and ask questions. How do I do this or that? But I never got on the forums. I just did it. So I didn't take advantage of all the resources there in the early days. The best thing I ever did is when YouTube came along and posting the video, and then people were like, hey, you can do this better. So I'd been doing Bricklink for 8 years before I posted the YouTube video.
So you started with Ziploc bag?
Everything was in Sterilite containers in Ziploc bags. I had things by category. So like all the tiles, every single tile I had, no matter what color it was in this one drawer. And I had all the modified tiles in a drawer. I had all the bricks in a drawer. I had everything grouped like that. So if somebody ordered a brick, I would go in there and I had to go through and find the Ziploc bag that had their bricks in it.
Bricks. Wow.
And if they only ordered a few, I used to, back then I was like, oh, they bought all of them. Great. It's ready to go.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, it's that first video I did on YouTube. It's like, people are like, you can do this a different way. And now when I look at other people's that are like even bigger stores, I'm like, you could do this a lot more efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've seen. There's I don't even remember who it was, but I looked at one guy's store tour, and he has a big Bricklink store and does a lot of sales, and he's got all these shoe boxes, and you open a shoe box up, and it's like 5 different Ziploc bags in a shoe box. I'm thinking you're pulling all these orders, and every order you got to take the shoebox down, get the bag. It's like that's not too efficient.
No. The only thing I don't like about the stack-ons or Ecker mills is when it gets down to 1 or 2 parts, and that just sticks in my craws. Like I know that space is,
I will be honest with you. There have been times if the part was only worth a few cents, I've actually gave it to a person and subtracted it from my inventory. Yeah. I've done that before.
Well, I started thinking about doing like you were doing a little while ago, where you were taking the singles and moving them.
Yeah, putting them in the trays.
Yeah,
until you get more of them.
Right, doing something. Yeah. So
I do a lot of shuffling. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I know people might not think that's very efficient, but
it works pretty good for me because famously me and Earl, we have multiple parts. We have 2 parts. I have 2 parts in pretty much every drawer until it gets full, and then it goes to a full drawer. But yeah, anytime I take all of the one part out, I got that empty. I got that half of that drawer is empty, so it sits on that shelf right there. And then when I go to part out the next one, when it's time to put new parts in, or I have something that's not already in the store, that's the first thing we grab. Now, if I'm not planning on parting anything out, and there's 3 or 4 of them, whatever, I'll combine them and put them on. So it's constantly always, and then the full drawer. Once that's full, then you gotta go to a big drawer, and then if the big drawer's full, got to go to a cup, and then I actually have shoe boxes that are just full of parts. Yeah. So same part, not bags.
How many parts are you up to?
Me? I don't know.
I just made 69,000. That's for me. That's huge. I can remember when I was if I could just get to 30,000.
Yeah. So the what you just bought, you ought to be able to add a lot to your piece count.
Yeah, but the problem is that
time.
I'll have a day off and I'll sort it, and then depending on time, if I put it in, it might be the next day off before I put it in the store.
I am 69,000 items, 4,000 watts. So we're right the same.
Yeah.
Right now.
I wish I'd kept track of where I was at over time.
That would be cool. Yeah.
I reached my all-time peak last month, or at the beginning of this month. I got up to 429,000. I was trying to get to 430, and then I was just like, parting out Chima sets will burn you out real quick.
Well, it's not really probably the Chima, it's the ones.
Yeah, doing a single
ones,
set. Yeah,
yes.
definitely don't recommend doing. But I've seen so many people that are getting into putting used parts on Bricklink, and I can't. It's like, at least with a single set, you know everything that's in that set.
Right.
But every single used part you add, you have to manually input that somewhere, whether
Yep.
you're using software or Bricklink itself. And it's like, that's just a lot of work to me.
I know. I mean, I can understand if you're somebody who like Clutch, who's got all these bulk bins and he sorts all these when he's entering used parts, he's entering
Thousands
probably,
of them.
yeah.
Well, he's got that's his system. It lends it to that. He said, "I'm not going to put these in the store until this container is full."
Well, we have a friend of ours. She has taken several bulk bins that we had, and she just sorted through because for whatever reason she finds it therapeutic to sit there and sort Legos. But that's all she's doing. So this is just a tub I have. There's whatever parts that she has. So she just goes through and sorts. So then she'll bring that back, and now Joe has to sit there and figure out how to get them in the computer. And it's exactly like you. Maybe I'll have 4 of those pieces and 3 of these, but I gotta find it. What part is it? What color is it? Did it fade? You know, if it's light gray, is it really?
And that's
light
where
gray?
the errors are made. Is because did that part exist in that color?
Right.
How many times do you come across a listing on eBay and it's got the no image because that part didn't exist in that color, or they incorrectly listed a part? It's a different mold. It's not even the same part. It's what was the part we were talking about at the beginning? The cowboy hat. For me, it was the 12-volt motor.
Right.
In the U.S.
Right.
I still to this day have not really found somebody in the U.S. that has the 12-volt motor. They always end up being the red 4-volt motor.
Yeah.
And
that goes back to the whole knowledge thing that we've been talking about. People don't know to even know.
Yeah. So used is not until you gain that knowledge. It's not good to list things individually like that on Bricklink.
Right.
You could list them on eBay where you can show people a picture. That's why eBay is great. You just say, here's this bulk lot. This is what you get. Then even if you don't know what it is, people that know what it is, they may bid it up.
Yep. Well, it's why we have the color chart, and the color chart we use for the new parts.
Yeah.
Because you're sorting, you open up the box, you sort them all out, you put all the same colors in your look. But Heather will be, okay, which ones of these are teal or which ones of these are whatever. Look at the chart.
Sounds like somebody's video from today.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I totally forgot about the bright green in the Chima. I had the 2 different bright greens.
Yeah, which video was that? So, which video were we just talking about?
Yeah.
We get to the comments. I think there's a lot of Amway in our comments.
Yeah.
So the word for the video word for the today is orange.
Orange. Aren't you glad we picked orange again?
Yeah.
I intentionally did not use that in the video.
I did not see the color difference on your panel on my phone, but when I replayed the video, I saw it on the screen.
If you're not thinking about it, you won't see it. But if you start thinking about it, you'll see it.
Right.
I was so disappointed when I took it in to show my wife, and she immediately saw it. And I was like,
well, she's probably, you know what the problem is we're like, who was it? Who was it that couldn't see the picture in the picture?
Oh, it's Kramer?
Yeah. We're like Kramer. We can't. Or she's like Kramer. She picked it up like that. Who was that?
Oh,
those
maybe it was
Joey.
Those
pictures
where it was the 3D thing, or
you got to stare at it for a while.
Yeah.
Elaine couldn't see it, but everybody else could.
Oh, man.
So your other video you did with your fancy instructions the other day, is that why parents do kids science projects? Because back in the day they had to build their Lego sets? because the kids couldn't understand the instructions to build their Lego set. So the
Oh,
parents had to build their Lego sets for them. So then they just said, "Well, let me go ahead and knock that science project out." And still today, Joey, you're going to be doing a science project for Dakota in a couple years.
No.
oh yeah, yeah, and exactly. I can remember my grandpa doing my electrical science project in whatever it was, 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My sister, I helped my sister and I helped my mother with math when they were in college. My mom actually graduated before me, even though she started late. But they said I was the worst tutor. but I guess I am a little impatient. But I tutored a young boy. I think he was like 8th grade with math. His mom was doing his homework, and I was like, what are you doing? I was like, even if he fails, he's never going to learn if you do the work for him.
Right.
And so that's what with my kids, I gave them that tough kind of love there. But they they did good. But it's like, yeah, if you do something for somebody, they will never learn to appreciate doing it for themselves.
Right.
And it's like with this, I think with me, with Bricklink and Lego, I learned a lot on my own, made a lot of mistakes along the way, could have learned these things quicker if I had somebody to teach me, but I've learned a lot of things by this trial and error method. So it sticks with you more. Whereas today, so much stuff can be given to you quickly. I don't know if it's good. Is it good or bad? I don't know.
Yeah, that is a good point. I mean, is it because I'm like you. I don't think if you don't do it, if you don't apply yourself, you won't truly learn it. So if it's just given to you, are you going to really learn it?
Well,
go ahead.
Why is it that, like Lego, they want to get away from plastic bags to save the whatever, but yet they want to use all this paper for these instructions when every page adds one piece?
Oh, instead of combining piece steps.
Yeah, I mean, you could take 100-page booklet and cut it in half.
Yeah,
real easy.
They want to get rid of the paper books completely and just have everybody use digital.
But I think the number of steps is completely focus group driven. They've seen where they've watched people build them or kids build them, and then it didn't. They struggled at this step here. And I was like, well, break that step down. Where maybe we showed 2 or 3 pieces being put together. Well, obviously, the kids put it together wrong or something happened. So break it down into smaller steps.
Well, I hate the steps when it's like 2 pieces, put them side by side. That's one step.
Oh,
next step is take this one brick and put it on top of those 2 pieces. Just
no, my favorite step is the step where they just show you putting the one plate. Step 1. They just show you putting the plate. Why can't they just show step 2 as step 1? You could have eliminated one step right there.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of that comes too from calls to customer service where people say, I'm missing a piece. Or I got these extra pieces. And it's because they didn't build it right. And they end up figuring out when people build sets where they struggle, whether it's those focus groups or whatever.
No, yeah, customer service. I didn't even think about customer service. I know they do a lot of focus group, but you're probably absolutely customer service is king at Lego.
Yeah,
but you reminded me that so there's another YouTube channel that is not Lego related, but it's vintage computer stuff. It's retro recipe, but the wife on there, she was building some the Nintendo game system, the NES. And she absolutely just lost it because she had these extra pieces at the end of the back. Because she thought she had to, I say lost it, but she dwelled on it a lot because she kept thinking she was messing up. To the point she was setting these little pieces aside in a cup because she's like, she knew that she had missed putting these parts in there. And I thought, you know what, for a she's obviously a non-Lego person, that could be very frustrating to, not have. Me and you, we've talked about this before. You've said, oh, that piece, that wasn't an extra piece.
Yeah,
I missed something, because it's a 2x4 plate or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, this poor girl was struggling, and she, it was like a 3-day or 3 video series all the way through to the very end. She even hold the cup at the end. Look at all these extra pieces. What's wrong? Why do they not?
Yeah, my wife does that when she's building the set. Before she goes to bag 2, she'll show me the pieces she has left over from bag 1 and say, "Are these extras?" And you could look at them and nope, that you missed that piece, and then she'll hand me the book. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
So I got to go backwards.
Yeah, that's good. That's one thing I do like about them putting the pieces in the step in the little box, because I'm building a set from 2006 that doesn't have that.
Yes.
Or no, it is. Maybe I'm thinking of a difference. But anyway, when it doesn't have it, sometimes it's like, what goes there?
Right. No,
I
I
look at everything in the step.
I like doing that. I don't know if it's old age or what, but when it shows you need 3 of these, 4 of these, I'll find those and set them in a little pile, and then until that little pile's gone. And yeah, that is of all the things they've ever done, I think that's one of the best things. There, just a mini little inventory of what you're getting ready to put together. In
Seems like I do that. I do that with big sets, but not with little sets. Like if I'm building a speed champion set, I won't do it. But if I'm building a modular, then I'll do it.
I'll do it if I get done and I got like a 1x3 plate left over. Then I go back and look at all the boxes that had the 1x3 plate.
Yeah.
Well, when I built the yellow castle, I don't know if you watched through the speed build, but halfway through the speed build, I ended up taking almost all of it completely apart because I didn't build it right. And then when I got towards the end, I realized that I missed all of the inner center stuff. I was just building the walls because they were the same. So, I was just trying to build them. And again, here I know I'm speed building it, or I'm going to time lapse it. So I have all the time in the world to build this, right? Just make it go faster. And yet I'm sitting there racing myself. Trying to,
it's like the frustration I had when I tried to build that blue train, the 610 train.
Yeah.
Trying to build it on camera. So when I built the fire engine, which is a much easier build, I didn't record it, and I should have recorded it because I took that thing apart like 6 times trying to figure out what piece went where and trying to use the pieces that were in the inventory before I realized the Bricklink inventory was wrong. I was like, I cannot build this. There's not enough volume of pieces to build it the way the inventory shows.
I haven't looked at it, but if you go to that set on BrickTsar, that GVR guy, he's built that same fire truck digitally. So it'd be interesting to see what he did. I don't know if he's used the instructions or not, but
it's his interpretation of
exactly. But I've done that before, where you take those old sets and you build them in, like, I don't know which software he's using. It looks like he's using Studio, but one of those digital software, and then you have an infinite number of pieces, and you can move them around, and then you kind of like, here's what the inventory should be, because that made it look right. So it is a good tool. That's his whole gimmick on there, is to build those sets in that digital space, and then that's all you see is the digital space that he built. Or the set. It's interesting. I mean, I'll watch a couple of them every once in a while when it's something vintage or something like that, but so. Well, do we want to move on? Is there anything else that we missed in the comments? Earl,
do we even do the comments?
I mean,
did you see there's a roller coaster coming out this year?
I heard something about a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And then my son mentioned it to me too. He was like, they say it's going to have a loop.
That's what everybody's
talking about. What pieces? And I said, well, you should have done your video of your loop. Because nobody's actually done like a good video of showing you how to build the loop. You see a lot of people that have the loop. They don't go into detail about how they made those connections. He worked on it, got it where it worked, then took it all apart and never did a video. And I'm like, now they're probably going to have a track piece that's special for that.
Oh, they will, because it'll have to be
Yeah.
good and solid connections.
Yeah.
So is it going to be called roller coaster, just like they have a freight train and a passenger train?
I don't know.
Roller coaster,
But
blue roller coaster or whatever.
what happened?
Creative
To,
name.
what
roller
happened
coaster.
to the freight train and the passenger train?
Well,
I don't
it's
know.
February.
I'm thinking about applying for the job at Lego that comes up with the names for the train sets. Cargo train.
That's a winner.
I tell you what, I got a new idea. This is the guy back in 99 or something. He's like, instead of calling it city, let's call it World City.
Yeah.
World
So,
City. Like,
speaking of city, I know we've touched on this topic a few times about the price of Lego city sets today. There is right now, there is a new Lego set. It has 100 pieces in it, and it's like $60, 50 or $60, because it has an elephant or something. It's a Lego city set, but it has an animal in it, and it's got to be that expensive because of the animal.
there must be another big piece in there too. It can't be just the elephant.
Let me see if I can find it.
City has traditionally been like the worst value of all the things.
It's ridiculous. And now with the new road plates, all the new
City usually has the large elements, whether it be the hulls for airplanes and helicopters and trucks, and those always drive up the price per piece, which a lot of people look at.
Well, and then, we've talked about that before, but that's, these large sets, huge piece counts, but they're all one by ones and 1 by 2s, and it's
now which set is a better value? The Titanic, that's $630 and it's only 9,000 something pieces, or the world map that has 11,000 pieces. It's like 2,000 more pieces. Which would you rather have?
Yeah,
no, it's only $250.
I'm not finding an elephant.
You
is it 2021 or 2022?
If it's a 2022 set, there's probably not an inventory, so you probably can't find it on Bricklink.
Yeah, I'm kind of scrolling through the 2022 sets on BrickTsar.
That's what I was doing.
Maybe it's not an elephant, but it's definitely some kind of animal. I started to take a picture of it, but I didn't. But the base plates are coming. What's different about the base plates? So the base plates were discontinued. Remember we talked about them? Should we go
buy flat base plates?
Yes. And now they're in March. I think it's March the 1st. They're re-releasing the base plates. Same colors.
I don't know. I wonder
how many. They've reissued the green base plate as like 12 different set numbers.
Well, yeah.
I wonder if is it just a package, or
I don't think those are made by Lego. I don't know that for real, or for sure. But we've talked before. People have talked about them being thermoformed, and I think I agree with that. But if Lego's not set up to make those themselves, maybe that was a contract thing. Maybe the contract came up last year and they weren't sure they were going to be able to renew it, or maybe it's another company. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Or maybe they introduced the Neuro plates and only a handful of people really liked them, and they didn't sell well. And they're like, "Oh shoot!" What do we do?
Well, now there's the other thing. Is we talking about the road plates or just the regular?
No, just the regular base plates. The green one, the ones that we just got off Amazon for the
the monochrome plates.
Yeah. I think the gray road plates are gone, unless, like you said, these road pieces are just not going to do well.
They're coming back.
They're coming back too.
Oh wait, no, not the
road plate. You're just talking about the
gray plate, the 48 by 48.
Oh yeah, that one.
It's like
they've had the gray base plate for how many years? 50. If you go back to old gray, I mean, the 50 by 50 then it became 48 by 48, but that's 50 years, 52 years.
Yeah,
it's 1970 when they first introduced that.
I was
71.
I thought okay, yeah, 70 or 71, yeah, early on. They're gonna have those base plates, those monochrome, because you got to build somewhere. Dakota uses them now. I mean, he'll go grab a green base plate out of the box or whatever, and he says, "I'm gonna go build a house," and then he'll turn around and he'll look at me and he goes, I need bricks. Where can I get bricks? There's tubs under the city. Go grab one.
Yeah.
And then he'll come and say, I need one of these.
I guess I'm gonna have to go to Walmart and take a picture for discussion on the next video, the next podcast.
Yeah. So apparently the old elephants become worth a lot from the adventure sets.
Maybe this is it. I think this is it. It's a lion, not an elephant. Let me see. It is set. It's 157 pieces and it's $49.99. Set 60301.
Oh.
Sure. Am I gonna have to do like Shy and start editing our videos to get out the dead space? That one?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That's
okay. So it's got the car. The car. It looks like it's a giant piece. Is this the Ford Junior set?
It's $49.99. 157 pieces. It has that lion.
That's not even a big lion. It'd be.
Nope.
I would be less upset if it was an elephant.
Well, there is one with the the elephant is a 500-piece set and it's $100, but it has 2 or 3 animals in it.
Yeah. So this has got the rock pieces. It's got 2 big rock. Those are. There's probably like 6 rock pieces.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's 6. It's the smaller ones, three of them on each side.
The large car
body,
yes,
base, sink, whatever. Yeah, but it's also got 2 unique minifigures to this set.
Minifigures.
They're named now.
Baby lion and the lion egg. Why does the lion have an egg?
Oh, well, maybe Ricky Tikki Tavi.
That's the snake egg.
Yeah.
It's the snake egg. Yeah. We got our snake wrangler there.
Fish on a stick.
This is where, when we talk about Lego prices increasing, I don't have a problem with a Star Wars set being, I'm not crazy about the battle packs, but, a set being an extra $10. Think about licensing or, traditionally when sets get over $100, the value really gets better. As far as the bigger the set, the better value is, because it doesn't seem like it because you're paying $300 for a set, but when you actually look at what you get. But this is where I think they're going to run themselves into a problem, because so this is a 4+ set. So this is Dakota set right here.
It probably wouldn't get purchased unless it just became something that he absolutely needed, and then it would be a discussion. How many parts are you going to sort out? Yeah, I don't know. You're right. I think this makes no sense to me. Very overpriced here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If it was on clearance and it was half price, it was $25. It's still too much.
Yeah.
It's 31 cents per piece. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't get it. I don't understand. We always talk about the board meetings. I don't understand who in the board meeting thinks that that's going to sell.
Yeah, well.
So how long do you think it is before Lego does something where they have another dip? Like it may not be that they lost money, but they make a few billion less than they did the previous year. And then they start getting worried about things.
I think it's a few years off, because right now I think they're countering this by all the stuff that people like us are buying no matter what.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like a couple of years ago, they realized that adults buy Lego sets.
Correct. Like I pre-ordered the hammer.
Yeah.
Because sets I collect. I would have pre-ordered the helmets. I pre-ordered the hammer to get the free giveaway.
Yeah. So
and then I had to get sets to add up to $200.
yeah.
And then I realized like within an hour, I'm like, why didn't I look for the Star Wars helmets? And I was almost gonna do the Star Wars helmets, but I was like, nope. Then I'm just gonna wait on those.
Yeah.
So I forgot about Thor's. So Thor's hammer was a pre-order. Because I said I was cutting back.
We believe you. We're behind you.
I got 3 taxis now.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, wait,
that's how much I've cut back. I got 3 taxis.
Oh, 3.
Well, we saw the first one, and you told us the second one was coming.
Yeah, so that came in the video I filmed today that y'all haven't seen yet, but everybody else will have had a chance by the time this airs. Yes,
yeah. 2
taxis came.
Oh, that's not cutting back. See,
And I was like, I'm only going to buy things that I want. So I collect Lego idea sets. I collect the helmets. It just adds up. I got to figure out and I collect brickheads, but not all the brickheads.
Yeah, I'm about to get off brickheads.
I've backed off all the puppy pal things or the little dogs and cats and stuff.
Why am I getting those instead of the Speed Champions? It's probably the worst decision I've ever made. I should have been buying the Speed Champions and not
that new Lamborghini looks sharp.
Yeah.
I'm not even a car person, but I love Speed Champions. The new Lambo looks really good.
I think that's one of the things they've gotten right is how they've approached the car market. Because one thing I remember as a kid, there was always this section in the toy stores that had the plastic model car kits.
Mm-hmm.
They're always there.
Mm-hmm. And there was a whole aisle of them at the Walmart.
Yeah.
Of model kits. A whole aisle.
So there's car enthusiasts.
Oh, yeah.
There's probably more car enthusiasts than there are Lego enthusiasts.
Well, there was every once in a while I'll get somebody at work. I like when the Harley Davidson came out, they'll all come running to me like somehow I can get them a cheaper Lego set or something. Hey, can you get that Harley Davidson set for me? You want me to run to Walmart and pick it up? What? But yeah, a lot of people. Dakota and his dad, they'll build those car sets together. Of course, at their house, if they build a set, it goes on a shelf, and now it's a display piece. So
poor Dakota.
Well, so my daughter informed me that he needs bricks that don't build anything so that he can build stuff himself. I got it. Okay.
Talking about Speed Champions, that one that you built with him, the dragster and the other one,
yeah, that's
a $40 set. Look how many pieces you got with it. Look how much compared to that $50 set we just looked at.
Yeah.
No sense.
Well, as long as people are buying it, they're going to keep raising the price. That's the unfortunate reality. So it will take another dip for them to reset their prices.
So I'm not buying anything else.
Well, that ought to set the dip then.
Well, you do know there's 53 sets coming out in March. And I promise you there's about 15 of them you're going to want. And we don't even know what's coming out in April yet.
I mean, I don't even look at Friends anymore. I like some of the Friends sets, and you got those on clearance. So I was like, oh. But it's like, I don't buy Friends. I don't buy City, except when there's something in there.
So you're still parting out pretty regularly. I mean, prior to Chima, you're parting out pretty regularly, but you're not really buying clearance like you used to.
Mm-mm. So it's like as long as I got a lot of things that I still need to part out, I don't. But I went into Walmart because of you, and I did buy 3 of the Bricks and Animals. I'm not even going to do a video on it, but the Bricks and Animals is a great way to increase your part count with standard bricks.
Mm-hmm.
And those I wish every Lego set was like that to part out. Non-numbered bag sets. Are a joy to part out. It doesn't take long.
And there's no duplicates from
bag
one to bag
You
two.
just grab all the white and gray bricks, and then you're done with them.
Yep. Yep. That is the easiest way. I agree.
All right.
We'll run the comments real quick.
Yep. Okay, Ian Wasnick. It's nice to throw this podcast on and sort and build my Lego in the background. I buy cheap bulk Lego locally and based on parts and what is partially assembled, figure out what sets are there and how close I can come to reassembling. We were just talking about that.
That's what I like to do too.
Yeah, that's I've done that once. I got a tote, and that's a fun thing to do. Until you get to the end and you're left with over half the pieces, and you're just scratching your head thinking, now what?
Yeah. But finding those kind of totes anymore is getting hard. I mean, there's probably nothing at our yard sales anymore. You know.
Yeah, you kind of, and the guys on our deal, they're always finding. They're always looking on Facebook Marketplace for bulk lots. It seems like that's the thing to do now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get those bulk lots before people start dividing them up and selling from them, and then selling what's left over. And it's
Will Harper, eating at night is an important part of my non-existent religion. Good show as always. So far, I'm only part way through. He must have been having a late night snack while he was watching it. Bricking Out Loud. Thoroughly enjoy listening to the banter and the friendship you all share. It's great and a good thing. And I always learn something about Lego too. Thank you so much. Well, normally they learn something from you two guys. I'm just like the moderator.
But if that's true, Earl, how come you're the one that's always causing us to spend money?
Yeah. I was hoping to do that when I was asking you about something you didn't know about. Thought I'd have Joey going to look for something.
No. That's what if we actually could prepare. I don't know how long the segment we could go, but if we had like segments, and one of them was try to show somebody something they haven't seen before. Like Joey gets something, Earl gets something, I get something. It's like, have y'all seen this before?
I would have to get a new set that that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
We could do something like that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Because like I said, this thing, the video we watched, I had not seen that. Didn't know anything about it.
I was pretty impressed when you opened the box of that Lego store and it was all in sealed bags. Because when I saw the thumbnail and you said it was in a big box, the Lego store you just built.
Yeah, well, some of the bags were open, but they had the sticky tape that they used to close them.
I mean,
I think that's the way they come from Lego.
When you said it was in a big box, I thought it was going to be like half pre-assembled, and you were going to have to. You open it up, and I was like, "Wow, maybe you should have kept that sealed."
It was leaking parts, so some of the bags couldn't open at some point. So.
Dude, Jew 20, good one, Joey, Jabbo, and Earl. Amway.
Amway.
Yes, I'm missing 3 of the Technic figures. Hope to change that soon. Keep up the good work. Yeah, that's when we were talking about. We had no idea there were that many of them.
Yeah, I had no idea. See, so dude, you taught us something.
There you go.
There you go. Zipper Z. A couple of years ago, I got some Prince of Persia and Lone Ranger sets, which have gone up in price since. I'm glad I got them. I doubt I'll ever get that train though.
Those are 2 themes that you could have got those sets dirt cheap for a long time. I mean, the train even that was. I mean, I think I bought like 15 of them.
Yeah,
they were so cheap, and now all of those sets are becoming more valuable, especially Lone Ranger ones.
The Prince of Persia, that's had the ostriches, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the small sets had the ostriches. 2 ostriches in one set, I think.
Keel, you guys were talking about digital designers. Do you remember when Lego had one on their website?
That was
where you could build your own set and then order it, and Lego would send you the pieces and instructions. I thought it was pretty cool. I did it back around 2009 or so. Did you ever do any of that?
I didn't know how to make a set, but I knew that was a thing. in the Lego Factory days. And Maniac for Bricks, Joey, I think he's actually bought 2 of people's custom designs. So somehow somebody got the set, and then somebody acquired it and sold it on eBay. It's like it's going to be a one of one type thing, you know.
Yeah. I never bought nothing, but I did design a couple little things in there that they were way too expensive.
Oh yeah.
What was that thing? They had. I think you said you were going to get it for Dakota or for you, where it was like a custom group of sets that you put together or something. Did you
I never saw that come out. There was a thing they were talking about where basically it was like a bunch of city sets, so like a car, a small building, maybe a group of minifigs, and then you could mix and match them into a bigger set, and kind of like the My Own Trains was, but I've never seen it come.
I remember that being mentioned, but not coming out.
I guess it probably didn't meet the
criteria.
Yeah, something.
It was probably too cheap if it was.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, this ain't gonna work.
We need to charge more.
I think it was a European test too, also.
Steve Bricker, Jabo would make a great Amway salesman. Are you sure you want to spend your money on this? Sin Killer Tachikawa. While not a modular in the traditional sense, I would kind of consider a lot of these newer sets to be modular juniors. There seems to be more of a focus this year on sets within a given theme being part of a bigger, cohesive layout. Why it took them so long to remember that is good for not only encouraging play, but also their bottom line sales is beyond me. So that is true. We talk about the new road plates, but if you look at the new city sets, they come with the new road plates, and those friend sets kind of go together. The ones that
Heather just put the newest friend sets together, which was a mall, like a strip mall kind of like thing, and then the hospital, the one that she had, it was sitting over there. It's the same. I don't want to say modular, but it's the same thing. It's working off a 16 by 16 base plate.
It connects.
They can, if you set them side by side, they line up everything. Yeah. Now, the hospital doesn't connect. This doesn't have a Technic pin, but the sidewalks and everything. So she's just running them along the back side of her thing, and it looks good, but it's not official modular.
I like that better with the Friends stuff, because the early Friends sets, I guess for the market they're going for, it works. But you'd build these sets and you got like 8 pieces that don't connect. They're just like separate, and it's like I want things to be together.
Well, they're good for like a back. If you're building a city, they're good for the backdrop to go against the wall.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Because they're all open back and they're only 8 deep. But that's exactly right. Yeah, they make
that's a good idea.
Yeah. Mayo talk Heather into doing a video. Sorry.
Mayo Hosco Amway. I remember Earl Seinfeld reference. I've posted a lot of long-winded comments on these podcasts, so I'll keep this one short. I agree with Joey's thoughts about eBay auctions.
Yeah, to stop the sniping.
Yeah, stop the sniping and
Sniper, no swiping. Oh, that's swiper.
Swiper, no swiper.
Xavier G, nice show again, guys. I don't see a lot of difference now with Joey walking around in a hall of Brick Fair or wiggling in his rocking chair. What's Amway? Asking for a friend. I don't use a lot of eBay, but if I would, I'd try to hunt incomplete castle or pirate theme sets that I don't own and make them complete with Bricklink. And funny thing, those instruction books keep getting bigger each year. For every build piece, there's basically one whole page. What's wrong with the build instructions from the early 90s? Saves up paper too. We were just talking about that.
Yep.
Sorry for the long comment, Earl. Sorry for the long comment. No problem. No problem.
I like the comment.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah, we were just talking about the paper. But using eBay to find incomplete castle or pirate theme sets, that's kind of tough. Because people list them as almost complete,
Yeah.
and they're the same prices as one that is complete or supposed to be complete.
That's hold on.
I will have to edit this out. If we start seeing an ambulance. Let's see. 150. I need to write that down.
I hate it when you get choked up and then you make yourself
Laugh
get
or-
worse. But I was watching
yeah.
Doug Bricks, and he bought a gunship from, I guess, from eBay or Bricklink. No, it had to be eBay, and it was listed as 99% complete. How many times have you seen something listed on eBay and they put 99% complete? Do they know what 99% is? I was like, okay, this set has 84 pieces. You got a quarter of a piece in there. What? So he went through and went through all the parts, and he said it was like 61.7%. He was missing like almost 40% of the parts.
Oh my goodness.
People just throw that number. 99. It's 99% complete.
Well, 90% of all statistics are made up anyway.
Yeah. Andreas Carlson. Ooh, Amway. They made it. They made its way here to Sweden. Remember my parents buying some toothpaste and shampoo to be polite. And got the heck out of there as fast as they could.
Yeah.
Blockhead UK, another good chat, chaps. You can talk about the existence of lug bulk, but you are not allowed to say what exactly is on offer or the pricing to folks who don't participate. So not quite as secretive as Fight Club.
Fight Club.
Amway. Sin Killer Tachikawa is back. He says, Amway. I very much know what that is and would very much not touch them, even as someone who has done door-to-door for a less sketchy company.
Yeah.
Keel Jones, so Earl sent you both a box of stuff, yet you both went to Brick Fair and did Earl. Yeah, I didn't even get a shirt that says my buddies went to Brick Fair, and all I got was a t-shirt.
I'm sorry. Terrible.
Seville Bricks as I drive past the Amway Center in downtown Orlando.
Oh, wow.
Amway, Wikipedia. Amway, short for American Way, is an American multi-level marketing company that sells health, beauty, and home care products. Well, there you go, Brian. I didn't know there was actually a... and T. Haynes says Amway. Aren't you glad we didn't talk about Amway in this video?
Aren't you glad we didn't?
Aren't you glad? Aren't you glad?
Oh man.
So, well, that was a bunch of comments. I didn't even look. How many views did that one have?
12.
At
12.
least
I don't know.
Content. Hang on. I'll get there. 192.
Wow, well, that's a good comment ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually we get less comments.
Yeah, we did have quite a bit.
And that's like 20% viewership ratio for you, Joey. That's really good. I'm like at 4%.
Really?
How close are you?
To what?
To 1,000.
1,000 tipper trucks?
No, 1,000 subscribers.
968.
Hey, let's do a race. Can I get to 1,000 tipper trucks?
You'll get to 1,000 tipper trucks before I get to. I didn't even do a video this week, so I ain't gonna get any new subscribers this week.
I don't know.
I had the dilemma where if I posted a video, I would lose subscribers.
Well,
like if you were to look at your live statistics, I'd post a video, and then like 30 minutes later, I've lost 5 subscribers.
Yeah, that happened with me with the shorts too. I would gain I would gain 5. Oh, there it went. It started acting up. So I'm gonna have to get a new camera. Yeah, I would gain 5 or 6 subscribers over the life of one of the shorts that was doing well, but then I'd lose 7. It's like it's like what the heck. So I ended up losing 1 or something. Yeah, it's so. All right.
You about dried up the tipper parts.
Yeah, they're hard to find now.
That was a good video. I got 3 packages, tipper parts. Oh, look, more tipper parts. Guess what? More tipper parts.
Yeah, and there's more coming. I went through and did a list of what's still to come and where I'll be at. And to get to 1,000, it's going to be really hard unless somebody comes. I'm just got to wait now until somebody lists a quantity of something, because I've gone through everybody that's selling.
Don't say what it is you need.
It's like, yeah, I've gone through every store that has like more than 3 of a part and tried to figure out if I could buy enough parts from that store to make it worth paying the shipping, and I can't. So everything that's up there now is like I've literally gone through and bought everything that I can buy without it being ridiculous. I'm not going to go buy 4 tippers and pay $20 shipping.
Shipping, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I understand that.
Anyway, so that was a good show.
This was a good one.
Yeah. We ain't had a 2-hour one in a while, so.
Yeah. Oh, it's 2 hours. We better end it before, or do we want to wait till it's 2 hours? Or Joey's camera lasts that long?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go find one now. There's a chip shortage on computers. Have you looked at buying a new computer lately?
Oh, computer cars. It's ridiculous.
Your laptop doesn't have a what do you call that thing? The camera on it?
The laptop does, yeah, but I'm on a desktop here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I got a webcam sitting above the monitor, and
I would like to. So I'm trying. I've been talking my son into selling me his computer, and then he built himself a new one. It's more because he games, and it's like he can always get something better.
So you go in there and you say, Jacob, I don't think this one's working anymore. You might need to. I was on it last night, and it was giving me trouble.
Because I'd like to have the computer in the basement where I could film there, because I like using the wired connection instead of the wireless. And if I had his Ethernet based computer, and then I could do more live streams or videos like this. That's why I'm always in this little office when we do our podcast, because I don't want to be like Joey. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And subscribe to Joey. So he can get a new camera.
So I can get a new camera, yeah. Oh, well.
All right.
All right, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah. All right. So, do you have a castle? Is it yellow? Let us know in the comments below. Do you like piecing together sets? Let us know in the comments below. Have you subscribed to Earl? Have you subscribed to Joey from BrickTrains? Please do, so he can get to 1,000 subscribers before I get 1,000 tipper trucks. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with another video. It's a podcast, right? Wait, he's doing it again. You're distracting me. I forgot how to do to end this thing. Aren't you glad I do this every week? It's every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
I blew it, man.
I won't edit it in post.
Okay.
Just throw the
See you guys next time.
See you guys.